What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Number 66 on the countdown, we have tight end for the Los Angeles Chargers, Hunter Henry. He is our seventh ranked tight end. Last year, he finished as tight end number 9. All right, so a few of his stats last year, he had 55 catches for 652 yards and 5 touchdowns on 76 targets. He scored 123.7 fantasy points, an average of 10.3 points per game. All right, so when you think of Hunter Henry, or at least when I do, I think of injuries. All right, he's been in the league for what this will be. So just about every year he's had an injury issue. He missed the entire 2018 season. Missed 4 games last year. I don't think he's ever been just completely healthy. Always is a little banged up. But when he plays, he produces. Just how healthy is he going to stay? So, on that note, in his 12 games he played last season, he scored double-digit fantasy points in 7 of them. So, very productive as a tight end. We just said he finished as a top 10 tight end and he missed 4 games. So, that shows you right there how productive he was when he did play. And we know in LA they have a new QB this season. Phillip Rivers is gone after almost 20 years quarterbacking the team. They have Tyrod Taylor, but they also drafted Justin Herbert in the top 5. So, just wondering who's going to win that job will definitely probably affect his value a little bit.
I think there's no doubt that if you're a Hunter Henry owner, like in Dynasty or something, or you plan on drafting him, you'd rather have Phillip Rivers there, right? That
Oh,
you agree with that?
100%. Phillip Rivers, I mean, he loved his tight ends from Antonio Gates to, just like I said, when Henry was healthy, he produced with him. Phillip Rivers is a big tight end guy.
Yeah. So I think the what it looks like it's going to happen is Tyrod's going to start the year, and I don't know if they plan on bringing Justin Herbert in, afterwards. But would you prefer Herbert to throw to Hunter Henry, or would you rather have Tyrod just start the entire year? Because I don't know if I'd rather. Like, I don't know. I think it's just a coin toss at this point.
No, Tyrod is the guy who always going to lean on tight ends and running backs to throw to.
Yeah,
Saw how he did with,
Charles Clay,
shit, where was he?
Buffalo.
Yeah, there in Buffalo. So, like, he was decent up there. He's not a fantasy quarterback. But
Yeah,
I think he leaned a little bit on the tight ends, not so the wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, those guys might struggle. But I also think that Herbert, they drafted him top 5. He's going to play this season. Rookies also tend to lean on tight ends and running backs also.
yeah.
So I don't really think there's that much of a difference either way affecting Henry's value. Just think it's definitely going to be lower than it would have been if Philip Rivers
If
was still there.
yeah, the issues I see is that so first of all, excluding quarterback, the Chargers were like they played super slow last year. Their pace, like they would wait until the game clock just hit 1 second, and then they would hike the ball, and then so they're not going to be running a lot of plays. And if you mix that in with Tyrod, how he plays, he's a very conservative quarterback. I think they said if he starts the year, he averages 28 throws per game, and that would be 31st as a quarterback, and his completions would be 32nd out of 32. So it's a guy that doesn't throw the ball a lot and doesn't complete the ball a lot. And mix that in with LA, who doesn't run a lot of plays. It's not looking good for for,
I'm
for
already
LA receivers.
I'm already really high on Eckler going into the year just because he's going to be by far their best option. But after hearing that stat, it's like, man, he's
Yeah.
just going to. Um,
I mean, yeah, you got to factor in too. Like Keenan Allen's there, so he's going to command the most targets. But I guess the positive is you don't really have another. I guess Eckler is considered your second best receiving threat, excluding Hunter Henry. I don't factor in Mike Williams that much. He hasn't really commanded too many targets in the past, however many years he's been in the league. So Hunter
not only
Henry might
that,
be the
but
number two.
Mike Williams is a deep guy, and I don't see Tyrod
No,
throwing the
yeah,
deep ball.
Tyrod's not a good deep ball thrower. But so I don't.
Definitely targets his possession guy. So, like you said, Keenan Allen's a big possession guy. Hunter Henry, possession guy. Eckler out of the backfield, possession guy.
Yeah. What's confusing to me too is that Hunter Henry is ADP right now is 64. Does that seem a little high to you?
I
Like you
have him at
saw,
66 here.
I guess that's true. But so we've already talked about like I think I'd rather just wait on a guy like Tyler Higbee, who we both seem kind of high on, who's going right now looks like 20 or 15 slots, 15 picks after Hunter Henry. I'd rather just take Higbee at that point.
So if you've watched any of our mock drafts, you've seen the way we kind of target tight ends. I think we took Ertz early one time, but I think the other two we did wait on Higby. And because these guys in the middle here, this group, we did Gronk last video. We're doing Henry, Evan Ingram, Darren Waller all in a row. These are very good tight ends, but I don't know if they've separated themselves enough from that next group, like you were saying. Like you could
Yeah.
easily wait Cook on a Tyler Higby on a guys. Who else did we have there? There was
Noah
one more.
Fant, Gronk, Hayden Hurst, like all these guys, I think I'd rather just wait.
Austin Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper, yeah. Henry going
Because
in.
what do we always say about tight ends, Matt?
Yeah, you got your top three or top five, and then after that, you're basically going on touchdown dependency. Which Hunter
Some
Henry,
guys,
he gets you touchdowns.
some guys are going to separate a little bit. Like last year at the beginning of the year, Hooper was number one. Aaron Waller came out of nowhere. But when you look up at the end of the year, at the top, it's going to be Kelsey, Kittle, and Ertz in whatever order. Maybe Mark Andrews now.
Yeah,
He might
listen,
be
you
an
might have like
elite guy.
five now this year.
But from about 6 to 15, 18, maybe even all the way to 20, those guys are all going to be pretty dang
Yeah,
close. It
it,
just comes down. I know I've rotated tight ends a lot until I got Ertz last year, but it's just who's going to catch the touchdown this week. That's what it comes
yeah.
down to.
It reminds me a lot of like the quarterback position. The middle quarterbacks. They're very reliable, but it's almost like if you don't get the top five, top seven quarterbacks, you're automatically waiting until round 10 to pick a quarterback, and that's
Yeah,
a
if you don't get those, I would even wait till like your last pick before you got to pick defense and kicker. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's not going to kill you if you have to wait all the way to the end. Same thing with tight end. If you don't get a tight end in those top 5 rounds, one of those top guys, don't feel pressured to take a tight end when Henry, Ingram,
yeah,
Waller, Gronk aboard, because just like we said, even though I would like Tyler Higbee and Jared Cook, who are 9 and 10, even if those guys go, I'm pretty comfortable with the next 5 or 6 guys.
yeah, absolutely. Where did Mark Andrews go last year? You have the board up.
The last round, he wasn't supposed to
Yeah,
do that.
no, but there's always a chance. Like, so you draft a tight end round 12. He doesn't do anything for a couple weeks. You drop him. You pick up the next, up and coming tight end, Hawkinson, like it was last year. Waller, you could have picked up like all these guys you can pick up every year.
That's like I'm looking at the board right now. So our order went Kelsey, Kittle, Ertz, Howard got drafted,
Yeah,
so he
Howard was
probably gonna,
super
and
high
then
last.
Ingram, Cook, and Henry. But after that, all the other like David and Njoku drop, Vance McDonald drop, Delaney Walker drop. You're able to drop these guys and pick up guys that are going to be better once you see how they start performing.
Yeah,
They're going to kill
definitely,
you.
definitely agree with that strategy. Like that's why we have Hunter Henry ranked as in the 60s, 66, but I don't think, at least me personally, I'm not going to be targeting him because I know at this point I would just wait, and I'm sure you would do the same thing.
And think about these rankings. Just keep in mind that these are rankings of how they might perform.
Yeah,
Drafting is about value. It's
yeah,
not about rankings. I feel like it's more value. Where you can get a guy, how far can you wait on the next guy, like stuff like that. Just because we have these guys ranked like this, I'm not saying okay, if you have pick
oh
66, you
yeah,
have
right,
to take Hunter Henry here.
yeah.
Wait, you can't.
You gotta feel out your draft, and maybe we'll do a video on like draft strategy at some point. But we still got a lot of guys to go through.
A lot of guys have pretty cool that we've already made it through a third of this
Yeah,
though. Like it's
we're
going by
almost
fast.
we're almost halfway there.
It's halfway. All right, so just wrapping it up. Hunter Henry, our 7th ranked tight end, number 66 overall. We out.
We are out.